There have been times, life situations sometimes dictate that you need to focus your energy somewhere else. And I can tell you from that experience, it was a mistake trying to put it on hold, because the creative part of you is, like I said, it's part of you. So putting that part of you on hold is actually doing to the detriment of yourself. So I doubt I will ever stop doing this. It might change in form, but the creative process will just continue. Let me put it this way. It was my biggest influence. My way of getting into hip-hop was through a Public Enemy bootleg tape. So, to hear people say those things like fight the power, shut them down. We were in that time where South Africa was busy changing and it was volatile. So our resistance, and for us to chant those things, it's like toy. When you're toying, you feel that energy, you feel that power. So I agree. And for me, the upside was to meet Chuck D. I met Chuck D and I met Flavor Flav, and to see that what they're talking about and what we believed in and what we were listening to was actually the people that we were meeting in the flesh. Because you find that a lot in hip-hop, especially when it comes from over the water. Guys would say the most conscious stuff on vinyl or on tape or something, and when you meet them, you're like, oh my goodness. Public Enemy did a show here in Cape Town. We did 2 shows. One was at Assembly, another one was at another club in Lansdowne called Atmosphere. I went through with that one, and prior to that, they had a meet and greet at Red Bull Studios. So we went through, Chuck was all about, I'm not leaving here till I take a photo with everybody and, and sign everybody's vinyl. And so we started talking. Then at the show, we got them as they came in. And then afterwards, after a 3-hour show of Public Enemy, they chilled with us outside for an hour afterwards, talking about hip-hop and about things and that. So for me, that was hip-hop. Besides the music, that was hip-hop, them being with us. So that was tight. Quiet, nice soul. Very giving, thinker, and influential, although he might not say it himself. He's very humble about that. You're going to have to ask Jamo that question. You're going to have to ask Jamo that question. But I can tell you personally, I've benefited from Jamo's influence, from many of the guys, and some of the guys you've interviewed already. From the influence I've benefited, and it's put me on my journey. Your soul, and all of that comes from there. All the other elements starts with knowledge of self. If you know who you are, you'll know how to express yourself. You know how to handle yourself. You know how to be disciplined, responsible. All those things that comes from that. You'll know when to be raucous also. I would have a continuous smile going. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm thinking that it would at least add something to the mindset of how they approach life. Because I involve them as much as possible in what I do. So they can see the effects and they can see that, whatever society is putting on you at the moment, there are other options. There's another way to do it. There's another approach. So, yeah, there's benefits from it.
And as artists, what would you advise? How would you advise them? What would you advise them against or for?
Learn the business side of it. protect what you do, because what you do is something so important. Not many can do it. It is a part of your soul. You're dealing with people or sharing with people. So make sure that you are solid in the sense of that nobody exploits you. Because hip-hop has been pumped, prostituted in so many ways, and not even recognized for its contribution to the liberation struggle of South Africa, to the corporates like brands like Adidas growing exponentially in the world. They have never ever given their due back to hip-hop. It's like, let me put it this way. I cannot give you a figure, but there is some sort of investment that has to come back to us, or reparation, let me put it that way. It should be a lifelong, not our life, a generational investment. Let me put it that way. It should be a generational investment in the creative, because that is a very, very hard question to answer now, you know that.
An attempt is great, it's fine. It's fine.
No,
Yeah.
it's a good question. I think I should try to answer it.
I
in
can
some way.
pause.
No, let it go. It shows me going through my thought process. I think it's a generational investment that must happen, and it should happen through education. And when I say education, I don't mean a watered down version. I mean education through the creative and through the analytical, and the combination of them, so that we create leaders, and I mean real leaders that think, you know, they say they always put you inside the box, but we want to create leaders that think outside the box and also think how to use the box. So, yeah.
Would you say that there's a difference between the hip-hop society and the poetry society? Do you think they exist as different societies or different communities?
At the moment, they do. And when we talk about the mainstream poets, yes. I'm talking localized now. I'm not talking international. I'm talking in South Africa. Yes, they do. Although so many poets are hip-hop heads, it's kind of funny. But till recently, I felt that I was being kept out of the poetry scene because I was too hard, which was kind of confusing to me, because poetry is expressing whatever there is or whatever's inside that you need to get out. So, but now recently I see that, I mean, this past weekend I did the Open Book Festival, which was, we spoke about some issues, some real issues, and no hiding around or hiding behind anything. It was open and honest. Yeah, so I think MCs need to realize that they are poets, and poets need to realize that poetry is not just one little small thing, it's enormous. From the guy who's swearing on the corner in a flow, he's doing his form of poetry. You might not agree with what he's saying because it's harsh and, and words like that. Till the person who is just babbling. That's all poetry. It depends. Do they know me or don't they know me? See what I mean? Because if they know me, the heads will obviously give the love, right? If they don't know me, and that hip-hop audiences nowadays is also like a very... Because sometimes you get people in the audience in a hip-hop environment that have no clue of what hip-hop is. So you got that type of situation you're dealing with. Poetry, guys, depends where you are. Because, I mean, on Saturday when I did the poem, which was, it wasn't a hectic poem, but I got a very good response from but it was obviously because of the talk that we were doing. And, but then again, like at the Hip Hop in Daba, where myself and Perspective performed our song Hip Hop for Love, we got blank faces. So, it depends, I would just want to perform for somebody that firstly going to remember what I did, and secondly it's going to show some sort of appreciation. I don't mean you have to go crazy while I'm performing, but when I'm done, at least show some love, you know? Because it's hard being on that stage. I'm sure you can attest to that. It's hard being on that stage, especially when nobody's giving you energy back. Because you're pushing out so much, and then it's like, okay, you can hear the cricket making a noise and stuff. Let me start like this. I am a father. So sometimes that kicks in when I'm even on stage. And through my brain matter, I might use you in my performance as well. Because I was fortunate to see this one, I think he's Nigerian drummer. He was here with Pan-African Space Station. We went to go watch him perform. He's the drummer. He's sitting behind, I don't know how much bass drum, and he's playing. And we're standing towards the back, and the people at the bar are making a noise. And he stops his performance right there. And he says, can you please keep quiet at the back, because you know what we're doing here is not that easy. And secondly, I'm not going to continue my performance till you keep quiet. And I was like, at least show that person that much respect when they're on stage, no matter who it is. If you want to have the conversation, go and have the conversation somewhere else, you know. Me personally, I will stop a performance and I will say that like, yo, what's up? Do you want to come spit here? You do it, you know. You see, what we try to do is like, I take it like this. If I'm around kids, if I'm around people, I want to leave something with them, be it how small. So when we're in a certain environment, the guys will throw what they call park jams. There's one coming up on the 4th of October in Paarl, which I will be performing at. Then we would do the entertainment. Obviously, we must recognize that in hip-hop there is the bravado, macho style of rhyming, I. I try to change the I to we, because we is more important than I. But through that we would do, previously we used to do capoeira workshops, because I always liked the philosophy and also the traits of capoeira, how it ties in with people who come from a place of slavery and not having, and how through this expressive way they could break free, you know. So we would do capoeira, we would do breakdancing, MCing, DJing obviously, and play some music so kids can, for that, excuse me, little time that we have there, for them just to forget whatever else situation is happening at home at the moment, and just let go. So yeah, park jam is important. Entertainment, me personally, like when I rhyme, I can't do battle rhymes anymore, because I just can't stand opposite another person and say like, look here, you this, that, and I'm gonna destroy you like this, that, and the other. Unless it's Jan van Riebeeck's statue. But I'm just saying, so I can't do that just like that. I would rather say, you know what, you can do more than just this. Let's do this together. Let's take it there. Let's take it to the people. Let's see what they can do with it. So that's my type of thing. We also do every last Sunday in Kales River. It's called Expression Session. It's for creatives to come together. Every last Sunday. If you want to check it out, you can hit me up. It is dope. I mean, even this month we have table tennis. That's a form of being creative. So, yeah. So we're just about trying to find the space to be us. Because this country doesn't allow us to get that space. We have to fight every day to find space to be ourselves. You see, I've got this thing, man, that if we connect, no matter where you are on the planet. So I'm connecting with the guys in Paarl at the moment, and we're cool in it. So I want to support their endeavors. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to flip a verse, because also what I noticed is the situation there as well. It's like any ghetto situation. So there's people that you could reach, you know, there's people that you can talk to. Besides that, the stories, the connections, I mean, it was so amazing just talking to people and realizing what they do. You know what I mean? So for me, it's more of a journey for myself. It sounds kind of selfish, but yeah, it's a journey for myself. But through that, we all grow together. So the Paul scene has got some dope MCs, really dope MCs. But I think there's dope MCs everywhere, man. I think there's dope MCs. Most probably in this building we're standing in right now, there will be a dope MC as well. You know. I am quite busy everywhere at the moment. At the moment, poetry, as I said, is taking off for me. I've got tonight. I'm doing something which is, let me just say the date, the 23rd of September. I'm doing something at UWC. It's a fundraiser for Hiking Club. Besides that, tomorrow I have a healing ritual happening at the Woodstock. It's in Treaty Road. There's a tree there. They're having some koi and stuff happening there. The 27th of September, I'm doing the Devious Memorial Jam. It's the launch of the first mixtape. That will be at Jolly Carp in Grassy Park. That's next to Princess Filet. After that, just trying to. Oh, then it's the Sundays, the expression session. Starts at 6:30. And after that, I've got, what is that? The Paul Park Jam, that's the 4th of October. Then the 7th of October, I've got another poetry festival. It will be posted on my Facebook. And then the 16th of October, I've got the InSync Poetry Bash, that's in Kayamandi, in Stellenbosch, at Amazink. Yeah, it's called Amazink. And then we'll see what else happens after that. Besides that, I'm working with some DJs like DJ Azul, DJ Easy. They're busy with their mixtapes. Also worked with Jerome Rix, another MC. And I'm considering doing a beat tape at the moment. The last time I decided I was going to do it and I started, my creative space just went boom, down. And I started making beats sounding similar. So I thought, let me not think about it. Let me just make beats and see where it goes. And I might go there. The house thing also, I'm busy with some house songs as well. By the way, house is hip hop. Act like you know. I'm thinking I'm busy with a poetry bundle as well, which I'm going to publish soon. And then I've got an essay also coming out, hopefully in November still. It's about hip hop, but from my perspective, obviously, ching ching. And besides that, just being a father. That's the most important one. Loving, emotional, not in the negative, sometimes in the negative, sometimes in the positive, vengeful, rebellious. What other word is there to describe me? I can be annoying at times, very good at that, but that is like a calculated thing. And expressive.